Got ourselves Anto charging out immediately versus Please Don't AMD. As Anto trying to see if he can make that Furious Warrior work. Normally a Paladin. This time it's a Fury going in for a trinket as he sees Don't Use backing up out of there. The man went in for a big defensive trinket as well as the Enrage Gen. Both have been used. Don't Use MD may have himself a decent spot right now. He does a full crusade. It is ramped up. That is the warrior without a trinket. That's where Avatar comes out for the warrior. Trying to catch up a little bit of healing. Then just trying to see if he can counter the damage with just aggressive power of Fury Warrior recovery. As Pliz does go for a stun, but he's out of cooldowns. Wings are down for a second. Can maybe chip away at Ant little by little, but as long as Ant can get in there and get some bloodthirst off, the man should be in an okay position. Are you getting auto attacks at him? You are getting auto attacks. It sounds like a random little like smites hitting him. Literally, your auto attacks just do actual damage to this guy. What? Are you healing, by the way? Hold on. How's Anta healing? Are you healing through like autos too? No, you got some kind of passive heal. Trying to go for a bit of reflect. No Hodge to reverse back into use, but does go in for a stun. Shield of minutes. Anta trying to be extra careful with it. Is going to go for a fear. Wants to make sure he can break past the shield, but rather wait it out than honestly fight the Paladin on man-to-man, one-to-one. It's going to be the Paladin trying to see if he can swing around him. As Anta does get hit with a stun really quickly. Final wreck on top of it. That's going to be a lot of damage taken, but he does survive it. Final wreck does do a bit of damage. Is still going to play super defensive as Please trying to see if he can get himself a better angle on the chase, on the prowl stun. By Enter does himself quite a bit of damage. Bubble to follow. Does he have himself a shatter? He does not. Maybe a leap though. He's trying to see if he can walk away from the Paladin. Wait until Bubble's over. Maybe he can catch up some healing. Does get himself a stun. Needs whatever healing he can. Does not have a big defensive though, but maybe he can get counter offensive stun to follow. Is it going to be enough though? Oh my goodness. Actually, it looked like maybe he was able to get himself a decent setup. Maybe if he had himself a little bit more time, if somehow he was able to counter the Hodge, maybe have a trinket for it or reflect. I honestly think he was getting himself a pretty decent setup. He was just ramping up little by little. Urifka gonna be up next versus the Paladino. Got himself Shadow Blades in the opener. Paladin does have a bop, potentially a secret technique. It's gonna just walk into the rogue cheap shot. Gonna be a wall for the secret tech. That's a lot of damage. No way out. It's gonna be a blessing of protection. Last second does go for shield of vengeance. I think maybe even a wall on top of it too. And Gilk can just try to see if he can back up out of there as best as he can. Try to see if he can get himself a bit of a setup. Shadow Prank kind of just sitting in stealth. I don't know if he's like gonna get cleaved down by secret technique maybe. It's gonna be Albedo immediately as soon as the other Paladin goes down. Does go for the blinder Griffkin. Wants to give himself that freshly new wings, the Proca wings as soon as someone on his team dies. He wants to see if he can take advantage of it. Could not though. The rogue does get himself a proper clean reset. Gonna be a secret technique. The other rogue gets clipped up a little bit, backs up away for a second. It's gonna be Albedo with a wall together with Shield of Vengeance. Griffkin does have a Cloak of Shadows right now. He's able to at least try to see if he can burn through the Shield of Vengeance into a gouge as his defensive was about to fall off. Still holding on to a cheat. Death, as long as he's got mobility. What is that sap? It is DR, but the man does get himself a reset for a second. Albedo apparently was far enough away from Griffin for a long enough time to get out of combat, which gives the rogue an out. If he has himself everything right here, he does have in place a charge of dance. Maybe he can make a play here. Get a shot onto Albedo. Does have himself a proper go. Trying to go for a setup. Is that going to be secret technique on top of it? Definitely needs to use it right now. Disarm to follow. Blind right after by the Paladino. Trying to see if he can walk around Grifka with a stun to follow. Does himself a go. Wings are available. Grifka with immediate trick evasion right after. At least able to deny some of the damage from the Paladin. A lot of his holy hits, like Judgments and Hammer of Wrath and Templar's Verdict, or Final Verdict rather, are all going to end up going through the rogue. Final wreck for a second. Grifka trying to see if he can shadow step him. Does not let the rogue shadow step at all. This is where shadow step with the blind comes out this time around. Grifka wants to go in. Full dance. Full go. Wall up for Albedo. Is going to be able to give himself a bit of damage. Reduction at least. It's going to be maybe secret technique. No. Maybe he did use it way earlier. Going to be a shadow melt by the rogue, but he cannot get out of this one. Stun. Is she dead even going to help you right now? Maybe. She did this proc. Oh. It proc for one go. It proc for one. But it was gone. Disappeared like a rogue does into stealth. Facile gonna be up next as a... Is it Facile actually? It is Facile. Wait. Okay. Hold on. It's so weird. You know why I'm weirded out? Because that Bonds of Fel was from a Demonology Warlock, and I'm so used to Jester having it. That's like Fire Mages, the first time that we haven't... The first time we saw a Fire Mage or an Arcane Mage use Ring of Fire, which used to be only a fire-only ability. That's what's weird. But it actually is pretty good overall, though. Gonna be a Dreadstalker's charging in. Albedo trying to see if he can find a way to fight through all the fastest damage. That's what Bonza fell. That's gonna be Fassel dropping in Helgadons from a distance. Albedo trying to see if he can find himself some cover behind stealth. All the bets surrounding him. Stun onto Fassel. Does go in for the axe toss. Gives him a little bit of a breather. All the bets are stunned up. Big damage on Fassel. Does go in for the wall. Is it gonna be enough though? Albedo get hit with the wall. Albedo just needs a little bit more right now in order to take down the Warlock. Try to see if he can slam right through him. Gonna be a bunch of casts available for Fassel. All the bets are empowered behind the pillar. Albedo does break away for them for just a second. No axe toss to stop him. It's gonna be Fassel hiding behind the pillar for just a moment. Does he have any more survivability? Dark back very soon, but Albedo does not give him a chance. This Paladin just slamming all of these boys down. Industrial Warlock opening up with a big stun. Mortal Coil, full Infernal, big cannons. The Paladin does have a shiny bubble in order to surround himself in protection. Is going to go for the stun roll. He spends looking for recovery. Next auto attack is going to proc him wings though. He better be very, very careful. Blind onto fast skills. This is an opportunity for him to make a play. That is a dark pack right now for fast skills. Maybe this is just where Albedo just goes in for a big burst to follow. Just trying to see, get himself a little bit more recovery behind the pillar. That is going to be a random blasphemy joining in. That is going to be double Infernal attacking him. The shields are going to get drained very, very quickly. That blasphemy does quite a bit of damage on its own, and it looks like it is going to be able to fade away pretty quickly though. Stun onto the succubus. CC. Bonza fault to follow. Does try to deny it. I think try to go for a rebuke maybe. That's going to be fast skills. Not a lot of health available. Not a lot of actually defenses are back up in case he needs to. Mortal Coil into Albedo. Does have a dark pack. Wall in case he needs to. Albedo get hit with a succubus. CC. Bonza fault to follow. Casmon Raptor is going to get broken, but his soul spell warded is going to keep him alive. The succubus trying to do whatever he can before he can take out the Warlock. That's going to be fast skills. Got himself a little bit of Warlock health. Wall needs to be used right now. No health left whatsoever. I think the Paladin is going to be able to have him and does take him out. Yet another holster for all of his flags of ownership. With Rin gonna be up next. Cheap shot. Albedo's drained. He's got nothing, and Rin should be able to take him out. Just rinsed him with my man. Is it Dalaran Kragar? It is. They're both confused. They're both confused. Dalaran thought, wait, it's me. Kragar thought, wait, it's me. That's why I saw there's a little bit of delay, like the storm bolted, but no one charged. Trying to be respectful to one another, but might have missed an opportunity to take down the rogue, because the rogue basically got to escape as these guys try to play it super, super honorable. Fear onto the rogue as he pops evasion. Kragar just needs a little bit more survivability here. Does go in for stun onto Ren. Together with big damage, still evasion is holding on strong for a little bit longer. Kragar does shrink it in order to get his weapons back as soon as possible. Blind to follow. If Ren has a proper stun for the warrior, may not be able to live this. Enrage Regen may give you enough survivability. Does break out of that gouge for a moment into a defensive stance. Kragar, if he has a bleed on him, then Ren can maybe just wait out a little bit. But if Kragar no bleed, he's just recovering all that health. Fighting the rogue, does Whirlwind pass him? Kragar got himself a bit more health. Secret technique could do a lot of damage, but it actually didn't. Wait a second, it actually did no damage. Cloak of Shadows, but he storm bolted it. Storm bolted a cloak, but he had the cloak that removes any kind of physical damage and gives a dodge. Into a defensive stance. Does not a lot of help to work with. Ren could maybe take him down right now. Kragar trying to give himself a little bit more help to work with. Cheap shot to follow. Not a lot of health. Living on the barred health too on top of it. Kragar not in a great spot. I think it's over. Oh my goodness. With Dalaran charging and Zerka raging out of that into a banner as the kidney shot comes out. Doesn't have the Rogue a proper go. Is going to try to see if he can get him dotted up here and there. As long as you can put a Ren on the guy or something, you will be okay. Disarm to follow. Dalaran is going to go for that shock, but at least try to keep the rogue in place. Big bleed to follow into a Warbreaker. Big damage onto Ren, able to bypass him immediately through the evasion. Doesn't do anything. Bleed. Oh, taking him out. Blood up by a warrior. It's almost like a feral with some of the most grievous bleeds out there. Albedo does end up slamming 3. Ren almost going back to back a little for his team, but in this high dampening, there's not much you can really do in that situation. Just limited on your opportunities there.